always be in contact so that you will know what's going on with your child.
Also, I think parents need to understand that the workload can be very burdensome to the child, and they need to create the environment at home, because only about a third of the work will be done in the classroom.
Okay.
Hence, it means that the child has to be more responsible for his or her own learning. And they need to create that atmosphere at home, that study area that is just for studying.
Yes.
And have as many situations available so the child can really study properly at home. Work with the child. They can give them mini tests. They can help them review the work, help them read over, read ahead, and also provide all the necessary things for school.
So basically what you're saying is that our work is not yet
Create
done.
a structure.
No, you kind of wish when primary school is like you're closed, but our work is not yet done. So thank you very much, guidance counselors, Mrs. Margaret Grant, Shante Walters, Dr. Pemberton Gaskin, specializing in adolescent medicine, and Jason Cummings. Been there, done that, and been successful, obviously. And we just want to thank our campers, our young audience, and we want to thank you. Do join us again next week when we talk about our children. Today we were talking about the transition from primary to secondary school. We want to hear more from you on Facebook and on our site. See you next week.
Some of the executives, along with myself, had to be almost, I would say, put our properties on the line to get a loan from the bank in order to make sure that the teams went off.
Legend. A story that has been passed on for generations. In our history, there are numerous untold stories. This is our legend.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news tonight, the F&M ratifies its final four, among them a new candidate for Pine Ridge. AML to invest $3.5 million in a store downtown Freeport. And COVID-19 hospitalizations on the rise again. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening. I'm Atalia Hall. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the governing Free National Movement ratifying its last four candidates for the upcoming general election in the capital last night. The final four announced last night were Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis for Killarney, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Public Works Desmond Bannister for Carmichael, Director of Labor John Pinder for Fox Hill, and Deputy Controller of Road Traffic on Grand Bahama Wellburn Bootle for the Pine Ridge constituency. The F&M and the Progressive Liberal Party now ratified all 39 candidates. The next general election is due in May of 2022. In other news, it was a move. Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Frederick McAlpine, says he was waiting on to move forward with his political life. Now that the Free National Movement has ratified a candidate for the Pine Ridge constituency, the F&M sitting member is announcing his plan to run as an independent. Shoshina Rule-Farquharson reports.
Outspoken Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Frederick McAlpine, making the announcement today that he will be running as an independent in the upcoming general election. McAlpine also making it clear that he is no longer a member of the Free National Movement. Now, all of this coming one day after the F&M ratified Deputy Controller of Road Traffic, Wellborn Bootle. The Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Frederick McAlpine, says one thing is for sure. Rejection by the leadership of any political organization is not a rejection from the people whom he loves and have spoken up for.
I will offer myself as an independent candidate in the upcoming general election to continue my service to God and country through and for the people of Pine Ridge.
So just where does this leave McAlpine with the FNM?
According to the Constitution of the Free National Movement, once I would have moved to, they would have ratified their candidate, and I have moved to become an independent candidate. I am now, therefore, null and void in terms of membership with the Free National Movement.
But McAlpine says his focus is now on winning the Pine Ridge seat, and he believes that he can do that based on his record. And he's also leaving this message with residents of Pine Ridge.
Pine Ridge, I urge you, rather than making it about colors and parties or leadership, vote to maintain your voice.
The current Member of Parliament also taking the opportunity to thank the local and national FNM Council, the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Ingraham, and the leader of the FNM.
For the opportunity to serve and to inform Prime Minister Minnis publicly that I have no bitterness, hatred, or ill will against him. I am a practicing Christian.
Now, McAlpine says he has already selected an official color. That color is purple, which stands for royalty. And if you are wondering what his official symbol is, well, he says it is a water droplet. That's the only thing that can clean crabs and put out fire. Shashina Rule-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
In other news, Abaco Markets Limited, the parent company of Solomon's, announcing that it will invest $3.5 million to reopen Solomon's Freeport. The store will be located in the former Winn-Dixie building downtown Freeport. The new 20,000 square foot store will feature a Solomon's neighborhood format and will add approximately 40 new jobs to the Freeport economy. AML officials said they were working on the plans and details throughout the COVID-19 pandemic and are now ready to move ahead. According to the statement, local contractors and artisans would be contracted to complete more than 80% of the work on the $3.5 million development. AML hopes to open the downtown location in March of next year, noting that this location has been iconic for the Grand Bahama community, and they expect this investment will act as a catalyst for the revitalization of the downtown area. Now, Solomon's original store on Queens Highway was destroyed after sustaining extensive damage due to Hurricane Dorian. A dramatic increase in COVID-19 hospitalizations in the country. The latest COVID-19 dashboard showing 67 cases, 15 cases on Grand Bahama. 2 of those cases are in ICU. The total number of cases is now just over 13,400. There are 69 new cases, 1 in Eleuthera, 8 in Grand Bahama, and 60 in New Providence. The number of deaths have now jumped to 273. That's after the Ministry of Health is reporting 4 deaths in New Providence, 1 in Bimini, and 1 in Eleuthera between July 3rd and July 14th. Additionally, health officials are reporting 7 recent COVID deaths on Grand Bahama that occurred between April and May of this year. In other news, concerns are being expressed about the apparent delay in the vaccination process here on Grand Bahama. In this report, the head of the Grand Bahama Task Force says there is no need for alarm. When visiting the vax.gov.bs website, no appointments are currently available for persons seeking the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine on Grand Bahama. Now, according to a press release from the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee, vaccines will be limited to second doses until additional doses of the vaccine are received in country. Now, head of Grand Bahama's COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Frank Bartlett, says the health team in Grand Bahama are making sure that there is an adequate supply of vaccines to cover those persons who would have already received their first jab.
And this is why right now, up until the 27th, we're actually only offering those persons who required a second dose in an attempt to have more persons fully vaccinated. And that's the main reason why we see that out and on the site. We're only allowing those persons who would have had their first dose to be registered.
Now the country is scheduled to receive 33,600 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine before the end of July. The Bahamas has also been informed that additional vaccines will be made available in the third quarter of 2021 through a donation from the United States via the Caribbean Public Health Agency and through the COVAX facility. Dr. Bartlett says the health team is looking at the Pfizer vaccine as well, as it can capture the pediatric group. He says there's a high demand for vaccines across the world, but he says there is no need for people who are interested in the vaccine to panic.
Rest assured that the government of the Bahamas and the health sector are making all efforts to ensure that the vaccination program continues.
The doctor confirming that there are cases where some people have received their first shot and have not come back for their second shot until some 15 to 16 weeks later. Dr. Bartlett urging persons to visit the vaccination center for their second dose 7 weeks after their first dose.
Because you still have a chance of contracting it. COVID-19 after your first dose.
He says the amount of hospitalizations on the health dashboard are concerning.
Hospitalizations in Nassau, hospitalizations in Grand Bahama are up. We are almost at capacity here in Grand Bahama as it relates to hospitalization, so that becomes an issue for us. It's important more than ever now for persons in the community to adhere to the social distancing and the public health guidelines that we have out there.
The head of the COVID-19 task force warning that if the island is not able to control the amount of hospitalizations, then restrictions will have to be closely looked at and implemented. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News. Now, the Office of the Prime Minister announcing that a registration portal is now live for Bahamians and residents who have been vaccinated for COVID-19 abroad. Bahamian citizens and residents who have been fully vaccinated for COVID-19 outside of the Bahamas are now able to register their vaccination status online through the vax.gov.bs website. Persons are asked to click on the Register Your Foreign Vaccination Only button, complete the questionnaire, and upload your vaccination certificate. Persons registering will not receive a local Vax Pass, but will be included in the database as being vaccinated. This will provide a more accurate account of all Bahamians and residents who are vaccinated for the local and international reporting of COVID-19 vaccination numbers. In other news, a Grand Bahama man found dead over in Cat Key. The man, believed to be a construction worker, was discovered unresponsive. Police say co-workers administered CPR but were unable to revive him. He was taken to the Cat Key clinic where he was pronounced dead. Now police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the man's death. 2 juvenile females stabbed about the body in 8 Mile Rock. Police say around midnight, officers received a report of a stabbing incident. Officers from the 8 Mile Rock police station responded to a local business establishment in Jonestown, 8 Mile Rock, where they met the 2 juvenile females suffering from stab wounds. Police say the juveniles were in the company of an adult male when they were attacked and stabbed about the body by a group of females. They were both taken to hospital. One of the females was treated for her injuries and released, while the other remains in hospital in serious but stable condition. Now, a juvenile female is currently in police custody assisting with this investigation. Tonight, we close out our profile of farmers who are working towards self-sufficiency, some 48 years of independence. In this report, Jamila Mizik talks with a young livestock farmer who says the implementation of technology can change the traditional way of farming going forward.
My name is Terrence Roberts, Managing Director at Berkshire Bahamas Farms.
Berkshire Bahamas Farms is a family-owned farm established back in May 2019. The farm is the home of some 90 pigs, chickens, and crops on a small scale. Robert says 2 of their main focuses are sustainability and community.
Right now, we believe that as Bahamians, we have lost our way, where our parents and grandparents started out with farming and raising food for ourselves to eat. And at this point now, you know, we just used to going to get fast food and knowing nothing about being outside. So we feel like right now is the time where we can also inspire young kids. So we do farm tours and we allow them to come out to see the pigs, the chickens that we raise. We're supported by a number of organizations like the SBDC. We were in programs like the SBR, and now we're at the World Central Kitchen. And also the government is having some incentives where they're assisting with some donations, because we all understand what's going on right now in the country. And like I said, we have to be able to feed ourselves.
The Bahamas imports $1 billion worth of food. $600 million of that includes fruits and vegetables, meat and poultry. Robert talks the benefits of locally grown product as opposed to importing.
The good thing about raising pigs is the turnover rate is very quick. The gestation period is just about 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. So you can turn over at least 10 pigs per litter. So if you have 10 sows, that's about an average of 100 piglets every 6 months. So with that being the case, and also with pigs, they grow very quickly. So that's one of the main reasons we chose pigs. And it's one of the largest consumed items. And usually it's one of the cheapest items. But with our product, we raise them for a higher quality market.
Roberts, a young farmer, says there are more like-minded individuals like himself joining the industry.
But I took a trip 2 years ago, and I sat with one of my uncles in Exuma, Kenneth Bowe, who raises his own pigs, and he harvests them for his own restaurant. So he's able to turn them over, and it just made economic sense to me. And when I started looking at the problems that we have in our society and the solutions that we can provide to fix that, I figured, you know what, it's prime time to get involved in that.
He says the implementation of technology can change the traditional way of farming by making your system more structured and more efficient, a route he soon plans to take.
We're going into the pasture now, so we're setting up some posts and we're running electric fencing. So it's low voltage, but the animals are very smart. Once you train them young, they get a little zap and they're trained, okay, once I see that line, I won't cross that anymore. But it also cuts down the cost and you can use a larger space. And also what makes a lot of sense with that, you're able to rotate your land. So if you leave the animals on that plot of land for a few weeks, they'll root it up, but they'll also fertilize it. And once you're able to allow that to rest for a bit, then you can move the animals and grow crops there as well. So I mean, there are a lot of ways that we can, and methods that we can use to develop the way farming is, and with the use of technology. And also that I've noticed that a lot of farmers are so traditional, they write things down, but they forget that, hey, you can use computers, you can use QuickBooks, you can treat it as a business.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Pumpkin, bananas, peas, and corn.
Jamila, stay with us. There's more news right after this break.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
The Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology transformed my life. It gave me the opportunities that I needed to succeed. I benefited from their affordability and was able to complete my associate's degree on time. Their day, evening, and weekend classes meant that I didn't have to leave home or quit my job to pursue my dreams. Generous scholarships and installment plans made it easy for me to cope financially. BIBT was the right choice for me. Why not make it your choice?
Apply today at BIBTBahamas.com.
Hey, wait! What you doing, boy? Don't jump! Don't jump, you all right? Man, I so stressed out. I could use a massage. Oh, no, don't look at me. I don't do them things. Why don't you check out the ZNS Shopping Network? they may be able to help you with something like that.
You think they have something for that?
Yeah, man, for sure.
For New Day Spa?
That's the place where the girls them just rub you down and fill you up.
Look, I am buying this coupon for the hot stone massage. Renew Day Spa it is. I'm going.
Hey, look here, wait for me. I rolling with you.
Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
They say health is wealth. Well, let's find out. I'm Jamila Mizik, and I'm here to take you on a journey into what it means to have complete wellness.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Local government, the governance system that has been instrumental in the development of family islands across the country, is celebrating 25 years. Well, tonight, a man who played an integral role in the formation of local government is sharing some history about the establishment of local government and is assessing the growth of the system to date. Local government was established in March of 1996. National Vice Chairman of the Free National Movement, David Thompson, who once served as Minister of Local Government, was charged with the task to draft the Local Government Act. The system of local governance was then introduced to all of the family islands. The goal, to bring government closer to the people.
By having elected local government take place in all of the family islands so that we could establish councillors and town committee members who would look after issues locally in all of their districts, settlements, and islands.
He says local government has been proven to be an important component of democracy in the country.
That there was decentralization, making sure that power was closer to the people, and the people would have been able to respond more quickly and directly with any concerns or issues that affected them.
And as for the benefits, he says the local governance system was helpful during hurricanes in the family islands.
At that time, the local government elected officials would spring into action and would manage the natural disaster and make way to have the locals in every settlement and town and island mobilize so as to help people going into the storm, going through the storm, and coming out of the storm.
Thompson says he knows that work has begun in establishing a local government system in New Providence, adding that it is needed in the nation's capital.
It is of concern to me that our island that has the largest population in our Bahamas still does not have elected local government which will allow for the people, the residents in the areas where they live, to participate in the decision-making process.
While he is pleased with the progress of local government to date, he says more funding is needed from central government.
In terms of the money that is needed to do a lot of local things, especially as it relates to infrastructure and community concerns. And so I would like to see local government progress to a stage in the future where it would be able to collect revenues to assist it in carrying out its many duties and functions.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News. Students planting trees at the Bishop Michael Upland School. The Ministry of Agriculture partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council for a national program, which includes creating community gardens, assisting entrepreneurs in the church with launching businesses, and to plant trees on school and church grounds. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Michael Pintard, says the initiative is all a part of a global and regional effort to highlight the importance of planting trees.
Contributes less than 1% of the greenhouse gases that adversely impact the environment. Yet, we are affected disproportionately by the effect of climate change socially, economically, and you see it in terms of the frequency of hurricanes and the greater intensity with which hurricanes affect the Bahamas. But even though we are disproportionately affected negatively, we think that it's still important for us to do several things to help mitigate against the effects of climate change. One of those things is looking at restoring coral. Another one of those things is making sure that we have safe agricultural practices so that we do not emit greenhouse gases. And of course, the big one is planting as many trees as possible.
Bahamas Christian Council representative and BMES principal Cheryl Wood noting the importance of the program.
Indeed, it's a wonderful privilege and opportunity that we can grow food even to help our parishioners. And so, once again, we really just want to thank the minister for this initiative as he continues to work with the church group throughout the country in food sustainability and the things that are necessary for us in the Bahamas.
This is where it starts, teaching the children how to be ambassadors for the environment, teaching them the sustainability of food, not only for themselves, but for the rest of the world. And it's great that it's starting here at Bishop Michael Elder School because we are eco schools, all of our Anglican schools. And so we have made a commitment to undertake projects such as this one.
And let's now go to Jay Philippe for your Friday Sports Check.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. Team Grand Bahama had an impressive showing at the Swim National Championships in New Providence. But one swimmer in particular, let's just say, she's the real deal. Zoe Williamson was on a mission at the Swim Nationals in the 11-12 girls age category. She came away with age group national records in multiple events. She won 12 total medals, which were all gold medals.
The events I took part in was the 50, 100, and 200 fly, 50, 100, and 200 free, and the 400 free also. My overall performance was excellent, actually. I got all gold in all of my races. I swam all of the relays, and I did overall really well.
Zoe says it was perhaps her best performance of her young career.
My actual first time winning all gold in a meet ever. And my actual first time swimming in all relays and winning gold in the relays also.
Not to be outdone, young Kamaya Sanders also had an impressive showing at the meet.
I swam the 50 breast, and in the 50 breast, I broke the national record. And I'm trying to break the open record, which is a 37. My fastest time is a 38. And I swam the 50 free, the 100 free, and the 100 back, and I took part in some relays. I was confident and I wanted to get at least a high point trophy or the second runner-up, but I didn't. But it was okay because I still did better than I did last nationals.
Switching gears now to baseball, Fortune 360 Little League Baseball team is currently in Orlando, Florida, playing in the Cal Ripken Disney AAU Baseball Tournament. Team coach David Hoyt gave this update.
We completed our regular tournament play and went into the bracket play for the gold medal. We are 6-0 as of today, and we're 2 games away from bringing back the gold to the Bahamas.
Now on to the hardwood. Jonquel Jones had an impressive showing overall at the WNBA All-Star festivities. Jones dropped a huge 18 points, 14 rebound double-double to help Team WNBA win over Team USA. She wasn't done just there. Jones also took part in the three-point competition where she placed second overall behind Chicago Sky guard Ali Quigley. Jones didn't mess around. At the start of the three-point contest, she scored 27 points in the first round just to show what a 6'6" point forward can do. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Sweeting Administrative Advisors, along with local business partners, is sponsoring entrepreneurs who are looking for office space to start a business or lower current expenses with no money down office rentals. Call 807-6033 now.
Every year, hurricanes are getting stronger and stronger. Don't you want to make sure your home is secured with the strongest windows, doors, and roof? If so, come on down to World's Wholesale on Queens Highway in the Bamboo East Complex, opposite Yeager Funeral Home, where we sell the highest quality hurricane impact windows, doors, metal roofs, and hurricane shutters at the best prices you can find in the U.S. and Bahamas. Visit our store Monday to Friday from the hours of 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. to see the quality of our products. Contact us today for a free estimate.
Take your time, take your time. You sure, right, yep?
Money short.
You sure? All right.
Money short.
Okay, okay. Miss. You know Lou's a buying, right? Oh, well, you must be getting kids Billy. Man, I ain't bring no money like that. Plus, you know you greedy.
Well, today is your lucky day.
Oh.
Check out the ZNS Shopping Network. See what deals they have on food.
Look here. Boy, Madcap got some super deals. Check it out. You got a $25 coupon for 15 and a $20 coupon for 10.
Well, Madcap it is.
All right. Hey, I roll them at you, eh?
Log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and get your deals today.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM. Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
I believe proud you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your support. And we want to say a special happy birthday to Sally Smith, the Bimini girl. We want you to have a great weekend. And that's going to do it here for us in the North. I'm Natalia Hall. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, a staggering jump in COVID deaths and cases. A jump start to South Eleuthero's economy, political rallies in a COVID-19 environment, and premier healthcare products now more accessible. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
Some of the executives, along with myself, had to be almost, I would say, put our properties on the line to get a loan from the bank in order to make sure that the teams went off.
Legend. A story that has been passed on for generations. In our history, there are numerous untold stories. This is our legend.
Good evening, I'm Makush Lopendo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks so much for tuning in. A worrisome turn of events in the local fight against the COVID-19 virus. Health officials are reporting an additional 17 deaths on record, stretching as far back as April to as recent as just this week. The July 15th dashboard indicating that 8 of the deaths were under investigation have been reclassified, 7 of them as COVID-19 related. You can add to that another 5. The 12 victims noted on that day's dashboard between the ages of 34 and 103 years, a mixture of men and women, and across various islands, namely New Providence, Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, and Bimini. A day earlier, July 14th, saw 5 deaths, 2 women, 3 men, all residents of New Providence. The 17 deaths pushing the countrywide COVID toll to now 273, with still another 22 deaths under investigation. The startling uptick in deaths come in the face of an equally disheartening spike in new infections, which health officials have pegged at 130 in 2 days. Some 109 of those cases on New Providence, 15 on Grand Bahama, 2 on Abaco, another 2 on Eleuthera, and 2 on Exuma. Females account for most of the cases with 67 and males 63. Hospitalization also continues to rise with 67 people now hospitalized and 7 in the intensive care unit. The overall case count in the Bahamas now at 13,404 with 980 active cases. Well, the worrisome rise in local COVID-19 deaths prompting reporters to question the Prime Minister about it. His response, one of grave concern.
Once anybody dies in the Bahamas from whatever cause, be it motor vehicle accident, some other accident, I'm very concerned because that's a family that's affected, so that would affect me. As for what's happening with COVID, we're aggressively pursuing obtaining vaccines so that we can vaccinate our nation. Because what we're finding worldwide, those individuals who are becoming ill are the non-vaccinated individuals. Those who are being hospitalized are the non-vaccinated, and those who are dying are the non-vaccinated. And therefore, we know that the solution moving forward is to vaccinate our population, and that's why we're presently pursuing 4 fronts to obtain as many vaccines as possible.
Increasing COVID deaths and cases come as the Bahamas nears the end of its state of emergency next month. Health Minister the Honourable Renwood Wells has said he doesn't foresee this being extended, and the Prime Minister agrees.
Once we receive our vaccines, you can be assured that Bahamians will be reporting in droves to receive that jabs. And once we reach a level, I don't see the need, in addition to the vaccines, once individuals remain disciplined.
Well, those of you who have been fully vaccinated for COVID-19 outside the Bahamas are now able to register your vaccination status online through the vax.gov.bs web portal. The National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee says this will enable the government to provide a more accurate account of all Bahamians and residents who are vaccinated for both the local and international reporting of COVID-19 vaccination numbers. Registering your vaccination status can be done in 5 easy steps. Again, visit vax.gov.bs, click on the Register Your Foreign Vaccination Only button, complete the questionnaire, upload your vaccination certificate, and submit. Now, it is important to know that persons registering will not receive a local Vax Pass. They will, however, be included in the database as having been vaccinated. Well, the COVID-19 pandemic still low in many family islands, among them Eleuthera, where economic activity is in full gear now that a new dock is fully operational in the south. Altavis Munnings was in Rock Sound today for the unveiling ceremony.
It's the multi-million-dollar upgrade Rock Sound residents have been waiting on. A new and upgraded dock that will serve as an economic hub for South Eleuthera.
Had it not been for all those prayer warriors and faith believers, we would not have succeeded well in our attempt to bring to perfection this project.
The $2+ million project heeded the call to repair a dilapidated dock that was in operation for quite some time. The upgrades include the installation of 429 linear feet of sheet piles, reclamation of 80-foot wide by 100-foot long of seabed, along with its dredging, and construction of a reinforced concrete slab area with a roll-on, roll-off ramp.
You're going to be able to have everything that you need to come right into Rock Sound. And today we are now fortunate that we are able to open this dock. We're not finished yet because the Fisherman's Dock has to be finished. But this is going to be a very special place, and Mr. Johnson, we're going to have to make sure, Director, We're going to have to make sure that this place is paved properly.
And with the new dock comes more business. As the opening ceremony took place Friday, the MV Daybreak was stationary in the water waiting to drop its anchor. The first time in South Eleuthera in 15 years. It's this type of business that Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis assures cements Family Island development.
I am pleased to note that the Mailboat dock has been successfully completed on time and within budget. The expanded modern facility will provide the settlement of Roxanne with a dock that will service the local community for many years to come. Modern infrastructure like docks, roads, airports, clinics, and other facilities are vital for Family Island development. This includes infrastructure that will help to boost economic growth.
The Prime Minister warmly thanked Eleuthera residents for adhering to the COVID-19 protocols and keeping positive COVID-19 numbers here very low. He also encouraged all Eleuthera residents to get vaccinated in order to bring the country back the way it was pre-COVID-19. Reporting from Eleuthera, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Well, still to come, the F&M wraps up its ratification and a leading union, led by a new team. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight. Stay with us. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with my sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Final Four, the governing party rounding off its 2022 election campaign ticket with the two heavyweight incumbents and two political newcomers as the party shifts into full campaign mode in hopes of securing another win at the polls. Altaviz Munnings was at the Free National Movement's final ratification exercise last evening.
Only Free National Movement Council members were allowed to enter the final ratification meeting Thursday night, but that didn't stop supporters from coming out to the Holy Trinity Activities Center in Stapleton Gardens to see for themselves what would take place. Free National Movement leader and candidate for the Killarney constituency, Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, arrived right before the meeting started, with the F&M's candidate for Carmichael, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Desmond Bannister, not far behind. And then, that's when the waiting game began. Supporters stood outside the facility, some bearing signs of their favorite candidate, until they were able to enter the meeting once it was completed. Minister Bannister voiced his confidence on the party being re-elected on their current record of accomplishments.
The people of Carmichael are going to speak, and they're going to speak with one voice. And no, we will not lose. This is a government that's been productive for the Bahamian people. You look at your roads in Nassau now. In the summertime, in July, you would have never been able to be in this building without load shedding at night. Your electricity bill is probably half of what it used to be. These are the kinds of things that Bahamian value. Drive on East Street now. Drive on Nassau Street. Drive on Fayette Avenue in your community. Drive on these areas. Look at Government House and what's happening now. Go on any island. The first bridges that have been built in 50, 60 years.
Veteran trade unionist John Pinder has thrown his hat in the political ring to represent the FNM in Fox Hill. The labor director is now on pre-retirement and is mounting a campaign in the community he was born and lived in all his life. His goal? Empowering the people of Fox Hill.
I think Fox Hill has rich history that needs to be shown to persons from all over the world. So we got about 4 million tourists that come to the Bahamas each year. If we can get at least 500,000 of them to visit Fox Hill and spend $50, we can bring economic freedom in Fox Hill. We can move people from the blocks to the bank. And I believe a safe, secure Fox Hill can make that happen.
Another new face to politics is retired police officer and head of Grand Bahamas Road Traffic Department, Wellborn Boodle, who has been ratified to represent the Free National Movement in the Pine Ridge constituency.
I've been having some very good response, and that's what I want to do. I want to work one house at a time, one community at a time in Pine Ridge, and we're going to make it better. And I believe that I'm going to make it better because I have a passion for people and for what they do.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Well, now that campaigning is underway, reporters asked the Ministers of Health and Works on how safe is it to hold political rallies during a state of emergency in a COVID-19 environment.
We live in an age where in social media, through the media, one is able to get his or her message out. And at any point in time, if we were to move in that direction, and I don't speak for the Prime Minister, but if he was to grab the spear of destiny and point it in direction of a general election, then the troops of the Free National Movement are ready, and we're able to get out there and to carry the message that we've been carrying over the past 4 years. We have a government that is tried, tested, proven through crisis. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Rallies and all of those things are secondary. We have to keep our people safe. That's why you wearing your mask, you wearing yours. Even though I'm vaccinated, I'm wearing mine. That's the most critical thing for all of us. As a government, that's what the Prime Minister has emphasized. I want to continue to emphasize that. I continue to encourage Bahamians to be vaccinated. And all of these things are going to fall in place. So I'm not concerned about rallies. I'm not concerned about any of that. I'm concerned about the health of the Bahamian people and that we keep what we have, let's keep it stable.
Meantime, a changing of the guards at the helm of the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union, with the two lead positions now filled by new but familiar faces, and each winning by more than 100 votes. Carla Palmer reports.
President and Vice President-elect of the Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union, Sherry Benjamin and Kevin Burrows, are both processing their unofficial win a day following what has been described as highly contested elections.
I'm still trying to take it all in. The reality really hasn't set in yet. Well, I ran for president last term and I was unsuccessful. And I guess the people motivated me to try again this term.
Firstly, I just want to give God all the praise and all the thanks for the opportunity to be able to serve as the vice president of this union. Secondly, I want to thank my family as well as my wife for being my rock and my support throughout the years of serving under the union. As well as I want to give all of the members of the great BCPOU a great thanks.
With both trade unionists having served in the public service for more than 2 decades, climbing the proverbial BCPOU ladder, experience and more is what they say they will bring to the table.
I am definitely not intimidated. I've grown up in a family of fighters and strong women. I've grown up in a family of very, very strong women. And so we're used to fighting. And I'm not intimidated by anyone. And anyone who knows me knows that I am not intimidated.
I would always put other people first. Going to the table and sitting down and negotiating for others, setting myself aside just so the members themselves can get the max benefit out of everything that we do.
With 4 outstanding contracts between 3 companies under the BCPOU's umbrella, both Benjamin and Burrows say they are eager to get to work.
2 contracts are outstanding for BTC, 1 ZNS and 1 at the Bridge Authority. And I also want to tackle Cable Bahamas because we've had recognition for Cable Bahamas for almost 30 years and no one has been able to sign those contracts. The staff deserve recognition. They deserve a union that will represent them and fight for them, and I'm going to be that person to get that contract signed for them.
A lot of things have changed the way they used to happen in the past versus even with COVID-19 protocols. A lot of stuff that the union and even the companies, how they used to function before, isn't happening no more. So we need to work along with the different entities. That would be BTC, ZNS, as well as the Bridge Authority right now to make a better workplace.
And their message to employers?
Well, I can't speak to what they were used to, but I can speak to what they're going to be in for. I would like this to be a harmonious relationship, and I am about business and getting the job done, and I am a fighter, and I am going to represent my people. So when we sit to the table, just know I'm coming with the mindset of representing my people.
Official results of BCPOU elections will reportedly be announced next week. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
In other news, whomever is behind the country's latest homicide, police are all too eager to find you. The incident, the latest in a spate this past week, happened just before 6 last evening on Mauritius Avenue, Elizabeth Estates. When officers arrived on the scene, they met the victim lying on the ground in front of a home, unresponsive and suffering from gunshot injuries. EMS personnel were called in. After examining the victim, they pronounced him dead. Initial investigations are that the victim had recently arrived home to return an item when a gunman showed up and fatally shot him. Preliminary investigations are that the suspect fled the scene. Services now upgraded for school children and patrons who use the Carmichael Road Library. This considering the donation from the American Library Association will go towards enhancing the quality of service librarians can provide. The international nonprofit organization donating a number of laptops, tablets, and devices, adding to the number of tools the Information Center has in its supply. On hand for the short gifting ceremony was Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, who says the devices will go a long way towards servicing those school children who do not have access to reading instruments and devices.
Without the ability to read and understand and comprehend and analyze what you're reading, you're going to be at a deficit. So, the earlier that we can invite and encourage and inspire our young people to read, which we still encourage parents to read to their children, the better they're going to be as they negotiate through their educational process.
Carmichael Road Library Director of Library Services, Dorcas Boulder, says the donation greatly improves operations as equipment and resources are often oversubscribed at times.
As I said, it's densely populated and persons are coming to do research for not only like, for example, the national examination, but also to do homework assignments. And so we need to place persons on the computer. We need to circularize the books. We needed to do a lot of helpful services and provide quality service.
You may not have seen them quite as often since the beginning of the pandemic, but a major brand will soon be more accessible to medical offices and local stores, all thanks to an international partnership. That's the Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies Company teaming up with international corporation Gojo Industries, the makers of Purell, to ensure the brand's products are more accessible in the Bahamas. The partnership comes as the local company celebrates 20 years as a premier medical supplies company. Director Basil Barnett says this is another step in improving the delivery of health care as the country continues to battle COVID.
The COVID-19 global pandemic has changed for the foreseeable future how we interact socially. The increased attention to sanitization, both from a personal and a business perspective, is now the new normal. The products supplied by Gojo Industries are critical as we all work together to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus.
Well, Gojo Industries Director of Business Development, Sergio Rao, says the company looks forward to building a continued trust with local consumers and Gojo's Purell brand.
So bottom line is that people trust the Purell brand, and that's what we're going to try to build together here in Bahamas, is to get to that trust. Not many people already know it, but I think having a local partner today will enhance that development, and with the service and having local product, we'll just be able to do amazing things here.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
I was born here in Acklands. I was born in Morant Bay. Growing up as a child, the doctor would show up maybe every 5 or 6 months. A doctor would come in from Nassau because back then we didn't have an airport here. If there was an ailment, if you had a problem, if something was wrong with you, Mom would go into the bush, like every household, and she would pick out a certain bush and she would boil it. I knew a lot about the bush growing up as a child, but when I returned back to Ackland some 10 years ago to live, my interest was stirred back into bush tea, the bush medicine, because I knew there was a lot of medicinal benefits attached to bush teas. Straight ahead, we have an area that is just with rock bush. Now, the rock bush is a throat herb, which is good if you have sore throat, laryngitis, you have a problem, if you don't have, back in the days, if you didn't have a toothbrush or toothpaste, you would beat the rock bush and then you would use it to brush your teeth. I create my own products. I make a line of seasoning, bath salt, bath soaps, tinctures, pepper jellies, pepper sauce, herbal teas, and we offer tours around the island of Acklands and Crooked Island. A typical work day for me starts like 6 o'clock in the morning. I get up, I like to go into the woods. I love to look at my herbs. I go and water my plants. I go to the farm. Just an abundance of herbs here that I enjoy meddling in and making the different teas and the blends, and you will taste some. I want you to taste some. Some are bitter and some are sweet.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
When you really need to save big, you need to shop Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow Spaghetti and Meatballs, 14.8-ounce can, 3 for $3.19. Promo's Peanut Butter, 18-ounce jar, $2.89. Amalanda Fresh Milk, 33.8-ounce size, $1.39. Green Peppers, $1.49 per pound. Chicken Leg Quarters, 10-pound bag, $1.09 per pound. Working hard every day to keep your prices down. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
A young Bahamian female is head chef at a new restaurant in the Bahama Resort and is using her cooking and administration skills to bring a distinctive flair to the waterfront luxury property. Here's Fern Carey.
Come Saturday, guests at Bahama will have more native dining options as celebrity chef Marcus Samuelson will open his second restaurant at the resort called Marcus at Bahama Fish and Chop House. Responsible for managing daily operations, overseeing the kitchen staff, and planning the daily menu at the restaurant is head chef Garrett Bowe. With international figures showing that only 7% of head chefs and restaurant owners are women, Bowe is happy to have distinguished herself in a male-dominated industry.
I'm really excited about it. I'm happy that I'm granted the opportunities that I have. Took lots of work and hard work, dedication, but I am excited to be here at Marcus at Bahama. We are a fish and chop house, so there's lots of meat. We have 40-ounce tomahawks, strip loins, tenderloins. That's on our steak side. And then our fish side, we have whole snappers, we have snapper, portion dishes, there's grouper on the menu, there's conch on the menu for our locals, and then we also added the Marcus flair of his Harlem roots. There's fried chicken on the menu.
Bowe says she and the staff are cooking up dishes that will tempt the palate with a combination of Bahamian ingredients and seafood.
I fell in love with the industry and the adrenaline it gives me to be in a professional kitchen. It's hard work, but you don't feel it when you really love it. Work hard and always be present. Be present in the room, speak up, and just make sure that you're seen and make sure that your work speaks for itself.
And the grand opening is this coming Saturday at 7 p.m. and they are already taking reservations. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, since 1993, the Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation has been focused on environmental protection. It has also launched a number of programs for young people aimed at creating a new generation of environmental stewards. When it comes to its impact on public policy, Reef Outreach and Environmental Officer Randy Elliott says its success in helping to get one particular piece of legislation passed stands out.
Most proud of is that some of the work that we're able to do through our different educational programs, through our sea camps, but also on the policy side, one of the things that we helped to really work and we're pushing for was that plastic ban. And of course, that would have come into effect within the past 18 months. And so we continue to grow, we continue to in our minds, do great work. And we're happy we're happy about the trajectory that we're on.
He says the plastic ban instituted in 2020 was a huge accomplishment for Reef and its lobbying effort. The ban includes single-use plastic bags, utensils, straws, and styrofoam plates.
We are an island nation, and so I think 95% of the Bahamas is made up of water. And so a lot of the plastic, although we don't manufacture it here in the Bahamas, it does end up in our oceans. And so implementing that ban was huge for not only our country, but for the global environment and protecting the ocean.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Check out the deals Mama Sassy's Gourmet Foods has just for you. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com, select the island of your choice, and shop anywhere, anytime.
Large beach and pool parties are not ideal in this COVID environment, but keeping just a few friends close while in the water is actually a good idea. So here's another pointer. They say the more the merrier, and when you're planning on spending a day of fun in the water, that might be what you want to do. Swimming with someone else, especially when doing aquatic activities, is a standard safety practice. If you're by yourself and there's an emergency, having someone to call for help or assist is much better than struggling alone.
Swimming with a buddy, not swimming alone, allowing you to have the ability to have somebody with you if you get into trouble. It's nice to be able to go in a social environment with a buddy and be able to talk and enjoy the environment.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
There's been a lot of public discussion about the safety of COVID-19 vaccines. Here are some of the facts. Common side effects from the COVID-19 vaccine are usually mild and temporary. These can include a sore arm and a fever. More serious side effects are possible, but extremely rare. All COVID-19 vaccines undergo vigorous clinical trials before they are put into use, and they are regularly reassessed. Scientists are constantly monitoring the data and reports to ensure that vaccines are safe and cause no health risk. Remember that you are far more likely to experience severe complications or death associated with COVID-19 than the vaccine itself. As you make your decision to get vaccinated, be sure that you are armed with the facts.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
It is important to take precautions to reduce your risk of getting infected with COVID-19, even when you go to the grocery store. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others while you wait in line to enter the store. One person per household needs to go. Use wipes to disinfect the cart or basket handle that you select. Avoid touching your face, unnecessary items, and surfaces. Try to touch only what you are buying. So carry a grocery list to help you move along quickly. Do not forget to wear a cloth mask while you do your shopping and carry hand sanitizer with you. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others. As you shop, and at the cash register. Spend as little time as possible in the store and get enough groceries to last you for a while. Once your groceries are packed and loaded, use hand sanitizer and rub your hands together until they are completely dry. When you come home from the grocery store, take off your shoes at the door and put all of your grocery bags in one area. Disinfect your grocery bags. Rinse produce and wipe down cans and packages with soap and water before you put them away. Wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds when you are done. Wash your clothes and your reusable grocery bags.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
A major road reconstruction exercise to begin on the island of Eleuthera. Minister of Works Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Desmond Bannister, detailed the schedule in Rock Sound this morning.
Next month, Mr. MP, in August, we are going to pave the roads in Tappan Bay. That's the first thing. Thank you. We're going to invest some $860,000 for those roads. Mr. MP, next month, we're going to start the roads in Hatchet Bay. $800,000. Mr. MP, next month, we're going to pave the roads, begin the paving of the roads in Governor's Harbour. That's the start of what we're doing in Eleuthera. Ahead the other innovations that are coming.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we're having some light rain showers, temperature at 79 degrees. Relative humidity, 88%. The winds are out of the west at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,020.0 millibars, that's 30.11 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 86 also in Greenville, Key Abaco, Marsh Abaco, where I'm at 84 degrees. We're picking up 84 also in the Berry Islands, and Fresh Creek, Central Andros, they have a temperature of 85 degrees. Harbor Island, 84 degrees, 85 in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros, all at 85 degrees. Out of San Cat Island, 84 degrees, and as we take you a little further south into San Salvador and Rum Key, they are 84 degrees. Georgetown and Zima, also 84 degrees. In Acklands, 84. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 84. Machitan, and Aguas, a warm spot tonight. They have a temperature of 86 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, Batal King, and the Painsettia. In the Northwest Bahamas tonight, right through Sunday. That's through the entire weekend. The winds are going to be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will take place at 7:38 this evening. You can expect another low tide at 8:02 tomorrow morning. And for the central and southeastern islands, also right through the weekend, winds east to southeast, but stronger at 15 to 20 knots. So caution flags are up for boaters in the central and southeastern islands. The wave height is going to be around 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures. And they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Agreeable, need it feeling out. Yeah, that sailor man sound. Probably agreeable, need it feeling out. Yeah, the sailor man sound. You wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head, boy. That's the sailor man sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head, boy. That's the sailor man sound. Hear it bum, hear it bum, hear it bum 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 bum. Feel it bum, feel it bum, feel it bum 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 bum.
And that's going to do it for your international chapters, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, the extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Has about a short time to live.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
It's Shay here, and welcome to our first installment of Alive's Community Corner. Not only is Alive a digital service provider, and beyond those great deals and services that we provide you, Alive is committed to the community. So here's a look at what we did for Mother's and Father's Day. This episode, and we look forward to sharing with you so many more of our community moments. So why Alive? Because you deserve it.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Playing in the water can be loads of fun, but it can also be quite dangerous if all caution is thrown to the wind. Being alert and keeping an eye on young children and adolescents should always be priority. Here's how you can do it. Unfortunately, a lifeguard won't be at every beach and pool, so picking out someone to be the designated pool or beach watcher, especially when kids are around, is extremely important to lower risk of accidents in and around the water.
Whether it be in the sea or in the pool, you're going to make sure that everybody knows who the designated watcher is. And when you change over, if you're having an event that's lasting more than an hour or two, at least you can rotate out every 15 minutes and have 3 or 4 watchers set up. For an adult, any children at the age of 7, if they can swim, should still never be more than arm's reach apart. And when you have kids going through the Learn to Swim programs, we want to stay safe within them.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
It's a part of all of our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone. ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
A week out before the official opening ceremony for the Tokyo Olympics, the most country is in its 4th state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic and have seen their most daily cases, with the last 6 months around 1,300 a day. Thousands of volunteers are being told they're no longer needed, and now organizers say they will be restricting access around Cauldron, the fan zones, and fan activity centers. Other restrictions in place: all spectators would be banned from all stadiums and venues in Tokyo. Overseas fans had already been barred from the games. Meantime, all participants, from athletes to fans, will be required to take 2 COVID-19 tests on 2 separate days within 96 hours of their flight to Japan. Both tests must use one of the methods approved by Japanese health authorities, and at least one of the 2 tests have to be taken within 72 hours of departure. Further, all participants must wear a mask at all times, except when eating, drinking, training, competing, or sleeping.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Check out the deals Mama Sassy's Gourmet Foods has just for you. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com, select the island of your choice, and shop anywhere, anytime.
Agent, before we send you out in the world, we must make sure that your mission is intact. Yes, ma'am. Agent 1, what is a touch? Physical contact, ma'am. Agent 2, what is a good touch? Touches that make you feel alright, ma'am. Such as a high five, a handshake, even a kiss, ma'am. Good. Now, Agent 3, what is a bad touch? Touches that make you feel not so good, ma'am. Like a slap, a kick, a pinch, and most important, if someone touches your private part. And what do we do when someone gives us a bad touch? You tell a trusted adult, ma'am, for help, ma'am. Tell them, don't do that, ma'am. Agent, I see that you understand. Now it's your mission to spread this information. Just remember that good touches are okay, and bad touches are not okay. So, Agent, go spread the word. Yes, ma'am.
Here, these for you.
These must have got false bottom, because they look empty to me.
Not for long. You taking us shopping right now.
For what?
Things you're gonna need in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster.
We know when we had one hurricane around here.
That's it. We get 2 lakhs. It ain't only hurricane, we getting worried about, we could have tsunami, or we could have earthquake. And they don't give you no time to go shopping.
What kind of earthquake?
Scientists just find one faulty line over there by my corner. And even though they say it's stationary, it's there. So we need to go and get our survival kit.
Like what?
What you mean, like what? Plastic bag to put your important papers in, like water, medication, flashlight, radio, canned goods, things you need, things you might need, just in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster. These 2 plastic containers, the children them could paint them up in their special colors so they could know what they're looking for when you send them to look for it.
That's one thing I like about you. You always ready.
When a hurricane strikes, there are many critical needs to survival. Water is one of them. Access to clean water to drink, bathe, and wash things is often hard to come by, particularly in remote areas. While it's tempting to use whatever water is available, there are a few things that you should do to make sure that your drinking water is safe to consume or use. Boiling your water is one of them. Boiling water kills most pathogens that can be harmful. If your water is cloudy, filter it through a clean cloth or portable filter. You should boil filtered water for 1 minute, cool, and then store in a clean container with the lid. If boiling your water is not an option, you can disinfect it with bleach. Use 1/8 teaspoon or 8 drops per gallon, then let it stand for 30 minutes. Remember, this water should be stored in a clean container with a lid. Ensuring the highest level of food, animal, and plant safety in the Bahamas. This message is brought to you by the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We've heard
your concerns about the COVID-19 vaccine, and we're here to give you some of the facts. The COVID-19 vaccine is absolutely safe and effective. We've seen that it definitely helps prevent people from getting severe illness and from death due to COVID-19. So people should take this vaccine, firstly to protect themselves from severe illness and death. But they should also be taking this vaccine to try and help the country get herd immunity. So while you may be sitting on the fence wondering what the vaccine might or might not do, right now, you can be sure that the virus itself can certainly make you ill at any age, in whatever physical condition you may be in. If you have comorbidities, diabetes, hypertension, and even obesity, do make sure that you get your COVID-19 vaccine as soon as it becomes available to you.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, taking a look at our satellite picture, we continue to have that mid to upper level trough in the vicinity of the northwest Bahamas, and that's providing some pockets of showers and thunderstorms out here and there, and that will continue pretty much into tomorrow morning. And our forecast for tonight, we are going in for partly cloudy skies. It'll be somewhat on the warm side with the temperature getting down to 79 degrees, and there could be 1 or 2 passing showers as we head into the late part of the night. Tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny and very warm, high temperature around 89 degrees. And the extended weather for sunshine in our forecast as that upper level trough continues to move slowly towards the west. Temperatures during the daytime, they're going to remain pretty much near the 90-degree mark, but the heat index is going to be pretty much in the upper 90s. So very hot days over the weekend. So once again, we actually stay hydrated, but we'll work some more showers back into our forecast on Monday with some heavy showers developing on Tuesday.
Well, thanks, Basil. Before we leave, happy birthday greetings to DeMarcio Miller from your husband, Karen Miller, and family. And that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.